taking off from runway 23, that's heading 230 at 4th of February Airport, Luanda, Angola, Africa, the world, Milky Way, etc. But seriously, here we go. It's the first alphabetical flight in our Africa series, and looking forward to it. It's a very, very picturesque part of the world. Time is 4:23. Just crossing the piano bars, as they call them. And as you can see, a big 2 and a 3 means we're on runway 23. So let me just get a few things sorted out here in the cockpit. Right, I'm ready. So we're going to take off and turn immediately left. About 14 miles to the first turn point. Let's go, full throttle. Brakes off. Here we go. 20 knots. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 and rotating 6 degrees. Gear up. Positive rate of climb. And flaps up. And commencing our left turn. While we climb to 1,500 feet. Mike India Golf 1.
The tower, Mike India Golf 007, continue for east departure.
Right on track. Off to a good start. Still climbing through 700. Yeah, we'll be coming along the coast, coming in from the other side of the airport in about 15 minutes. So this aircraft is quite nippy, it's fast. Got great all-round visibility, that's why I choose it for these recon flights. But of course you can fly in any aircraft you want, even a helicopter on these same flights. The only ones I don't really recommend are passenger jets. That would be a bit ridiculous. Mike India Golf 1, because they're not really designed for sightseeing at 1,500 feet, they're more for going fast at 37,000 feet most of the time. And you'll find you could do it, but you'll find you're pretty busy flying the aircraft. Won't have that much time to enjoy the view, which is what this series is all about. Now I've got some GoPros installed. There's one on the right wing tip, left wing tip. So that allows me to get even better images with no obstruction at all. I've even got a couple of intermediate positions here, which they're fun at night time. So you can see the runway and the cockpit. I think there's one on this side too, yep. So they're a lot of fun. But mostly I'll use these ones to get good pictures. Now let's get my head back in the game because we're almost at our first turn point. About 1,500 feet, and I'm looking, let's pull right a bit as we do when we're going to turn left, approach from the right so we can do a nice smooth turn around the turn point. Still a couple of miles out. We're going to see some very distinctive shapes coming up. Okay, 2 lakes there are the first clue. So I'll start turning along those 2 lakes and you'll see what we're going to see. I'll go to the wingtip cam. Just get that adjusted. There we go. So turning in and you'll see why I chose this point as a turn point. First, these 2 lakes are a good enough turn point, but look at the circles that are coming up and look to the right. Amazing. There we go, that's a good shot. To the right, Yep. Now I'll come back later in the day and do a higher pass so you can get a better appreciation of what's going on there, but stick strictly to the plan. So we've got a very hard left turn. Let's look over the left wing. Yeah, very distinctive area. And we've pretty much followed this road for quite a while. Not that road, this road. Yes, and it takes us to the beach, the northeast edge of Luanda. So there's Luanda to the left. Lots to see in there. So I'll expedite this leg just for the sake of brevity. And follow this road. Now, as it gets near the coast, it does wander off to the left a bit. We'll just keep going straight ahead. This road will really establish you on the right bearing to the next turn point. Yeah, look at that. Fantastic colours. It's a smorgasbord. Smorgasbord of chromatic delight, you might say. So I'm moving along pretty quickly, like I said, just to keep the briefing brief, really. Yeah. But in practice, when I'm just doing it for fun, I like to hang around, turn around, do circles. Wow, check this out. But I want to give you the simple version, just as a basis. Once you know where you're going, once you've got a few turn points established around an area, and you do that even twice, by the third time you're doing it, you're just having a great time, because you know where you are all the time. And it's a lot of fun. So we've got a great lake on the right. Now, we've got almost with these lagoons, or this lagoon ahead, it's like an arrow pointing to our turn point. So I try to look for these features that are very distinctive, very easy to orient yourself by. And when we get to the point of the arrow, going to turn left, just follow the beach all the way back to the airport. So how easy is that? So we flew to the big circles, and we fly to the arrowhead and just follow the beach home. It's a pretty low stress kind of flight, really. Now let me do a bit of rubbernecking myself. Straight, okay, over there. I can look backwards if I lean around and grab the rail. Awesome. Now, big left turn coming up, so once again I'm going to swing right a bit. Your speed will vary depending on your aircraft. One tip, make sure you don't stall in a steep turn like this. It's easy to do. Now, this aircraft can turn pretty quickly. So there we go. Saw a couple of boats washed up on the beach there. So now, beach run, I reckon anywhere between 200 and 500 feet is a pretty good altitude to enjoy the surf and all the great things that happen when the water meets the land. Let's go to the GoPro. Just get stabilised here. There we go. So the first half of this beach run is pretty much wild, but around the corner up ahead we're going to get into the urban area, but still a beach. So very stimulating to fly along. In the town I come from, Sydney, there's a very popular run. It goes from south of Sydney right up to the northern beaches. It's about 20-30 miles. Spectacular beach scenery. I was lucky enough one day to be at Palm Beach on the north, northernmost beach actually, and drove over there to get a coffee as you do, and hear a roar, turn around, F-18 comes around the headland, does a barrel roll, and is gone within seconds. It was quite exciting to see. Now, if flying low and fast is not your thing, you can always stay up at 1500 feet, which we'll do now. Just relax and check out the views from up high. Plenty to see. So about 600 feet now, let's keep climbing. Just to give you a taste of that difference in the viewpoint. Yeah, very nice in the afternoon sun too. Now next turn point is actually bridge, and there's the bridge right there. But don't worry about even if you miss it, just follow the beach. And most of my flight plans are like this. If you don't see the actual object, often is a bridge. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of other clues and cues to keep you going in the right direction. So we're still at 600 feet, and you can see quite a lot from here. So like I said, 1500 default, but you can fly it whatever you want. I like getting down to 200 now and then. 500 is probably great for most beaches, but this with a bit of elevation in the land, 600 seems more useful. You'll work it out. It's all part of the fun of this style of flying. And you'll find in most built-up areas around cities, 1500 feet and stay below 250 knots, and usually, generally speaking, you'll be flying and staying out of trouble, while also getting the best views. And our last turn point is dead easy. It's this very distinctive harbour mouth here, all out here by itself, and that's where we turn back to the airport. Fantastic. Very much like Sydney weather here today. Okay, so as I head back, I'm going to call the radio. Now this is optional. Some of you want to do it, some of you won't want to do it. Either way works. But I like to, within my limits, fly as realistically as I can, and just keep extending that envelope. I enjoy that process. This is my thing. Mike India Golf 2.
Tower Mike India Golf 0074 miles north 1,700 feet to land.
Mike India Golf 007 Luanda Tower. Altimeter 29.902, wind 275 to 7. Enter left base runway 23. 007 wind 275 to 7. Cleared to land runway 23.
Mike India Golf 1.
To land runway 23007.
And you'll notice I use voice comms, and also actually don't use the mouse at all when I fly. I've got a fully featured cockpit here. But you don't need all that. You can use your Xbox controller, whatever works for you. This is just the way I like to do it. And I will do some flights in some of the stock light aircraft as well as we go along. But my setup is pretty much tuned to this aircraft. But that's just my preference. And as I said, the speed of this aircraft enables me to keep the videos to a reasonable length. So that's our runway 23. So what we normally do is he said left traffic means you keep the runway on the left. That's our runway. Now we're flying downwind, because naturally you take off into the wind. 1,000 feet is your default pattern altitude, I'm a little bit high at the moment, but I'm going to let down. So we're parallel to the runway now, letting down to 1,000 feet. He'll probably call us again when we get to the threshold in a matter of a few seconds. And we'll find somewhere up ahead that looks obvious. Nice landmark to turn at. So in subsequent flights we can just aim for that and know we're going to be okay for landing. I haven't spotted one yet. I'm going to use the GoPro. Crossroads, but they can be hard to see. I'd say more that road going through the green patch and the buildings. Yeah, that looks like a shopping mall strip. So if we cross that on landing, we're pretty much okay, I think. I didn't explain that very well, but not to worry. Gear down. Flaps down. There is so much instructional material about how to fly and land and take off that I'm not even going to bother to try and add. 25 years ago I did, but there's so much superior information now. Just go into Bing Maps, or Bing, sorry, and type in how do I land, or even in this simulator there's heaps of good material, tutorials and whatnot. So let me concentrate on landing for a moment. Gears coming down, and not too soon. I've got 3 greens, gears down, flaps are down, fuel is good, speed is a bit fast actually, a bit fast, it's okay, no hurry for a nice soft touchdown at 113 knots, I'm quite happy with that. Whew. Those last few seconds are quite intense. So there we go, it's about 17 minutes. As I said, depends on the speed of your aircraft. I'd say most general aviation aircraft will take about 40 minutes to get around that course. And of course if you start running out of time, just cut it short, go back to the airport. That's what I would do. So at that I'll leave this flight and I'll do a couple more at different times of the day, and I hope you enjoy it all.